Hello guys, if CAT 2016 notification is out, I'm Ahmedabad has come up with this fabulously elaborate document saying what their shortlisting procedure will be, how they'll shortlist people for the interviews, and what are their percentage weightages for different funny things for the final interview, for the final admit. This is a fabulous document, but it's so rich in detail that it can be very overwhelming. And so I'm going to sift through the details and then get to the crux of it, maybe answer 2 or 3 questions that are on top of everybody's minds. First up, what do they use to select? What is the basis for selection? I'm not going to go through the whole document. I'm going to focus on some specific things. They create what they call as an application rating score, which is based on your past record, past academic record, which is a 10th standard, 12th standard and undergraduation, and then combine this with some input from your CAT and then create what is called as a composite score. Big part of your selection process or shortlisting process is going to be driven by CS or composite score. Right? So what is sitting underneath this? Remember, I said it is the application rating score and your normalized score in CAT. Right? First thing to notice, the weightage for the academic rating score, application rating score, your past acad is 30% and for CAT is 70%. Right? CAT is still the dominant criteria here. So keep that in mind when you're thinking about this process. Right? So CAT can still sway things. That's the first takeaway. 70% weightage is to your CAT score, 30% is to normalized application rating score. Now this application rating score, what goes into this? 3 parts: 10th standard, 12th standard and undergraduation. Right? 10th standard mark, how do they incorporate it? They have a very simple table. If you got above 90, you'll get 10 marks, 80 to 90, 8 marks, 70 to 80, 5 marks and so on. Right? So they say based on your 10th standard mark, we'll give you some marks for this application rating score. They're calling this A. For 12th standard mark, they call it B, and for undergraduation, they call it C. 12th standard and undergraduation, things get more complicated. 12th standard, there are 3 streams: science stream, commerce, and arts. And for each of this, the classification for points, the number of marks you get for rating score B is different. But the idea is the same: greater than 90, 10, 80 to 98. Here it could be slightly different. The scoring could be slightly different, but this is what you're looking for. Now, when it comes to undergraduation, things get a lot more complicated. They basically said undergraduation, we're dividing it to 7 parts: AC1, AC2, AC3, AC4, all the way till AC7. So commerce and allied streams could be 1. Engineering and computer application streams could be 1. Healthcare and doctor medicine could be 1. Completely different. We don't know what to categorize, could be 1, which is AC7. They put into 7 different pots. For each of those pots, they've given a score based on that particular stream's relevance. What does a 70 mean in that stream? What does an 85 mean in that stream? They've taken that into account and created this table. This gives us score C. Application rating score is A plus B plus C. Right? Here, the engineers form AC4. This is a table that is relevant for engineers. Right? Now, so far so good. We got to application rating score. Now what do? Once they have the application rating score, they normalize this. Only they take the application rating score and divide it by the top 50 application rating scores overall to normalize it. You can take it for granted. The normalized, there will be 50 guys who get 30 out of 30, 10, 10, 10 in all 3 categories: 10th standard, 12th standard and undergraduation. And so effectively your application rating score is going to be your 10th mark plus your 12th mark plus your undergrad mark, whatever that comes out to. Right? Now, how do they shortlist after this? And now this is where the process gets interesting, very funny. They have a 2-stage process for shortlisting: stage 1 and stage 2. Conceptually, what is stage 1 and stage 2? Stage 1 is shortlisting by stream. Stage 2 is shortlisting for the overall pot. What do they mean by that? They say we have divided this into AC 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Now, out of these 7, for each category, I am definitely going to select the top few from each stream, notwithstanding where they stand in the overall stack. So if you're talking about the medicine stream, and the medicine stream, they have decided that they're going to definitely shortlist 46 people based on complicated set of criteria. If the 46th person on that list has scored 94.5 percentile, he will still get called for the interview. So they're going to say, for each stream, I'm going to select the top few. Now, what are the criteria? Very simple. They take the top 5% of the candidates who meet a set of criteria and then select them in. Top 5% based on your composite score. The composite score still matters. Right? and obviously top 5% by category. So this general category, NC, OBC, all of those, that also matters when they're doing their numbers. What are the criteria? They have 3 criteria. The first one is a very simple percentile criteria. In each section you should have got some percentile, 70, 70, 70 or 80, 80, 80, depending on which category you come into and all that. Have a look at that. The second criteria is the minimum, the percentage average of your 10th standard and 12th standard should be above a cutoff. If you are a science stream student, 10th plus 12th average should be more than 80. That is criteria 2. Criteria 3 is more interesting. It says your academic performance in that stream for undergraduation should be higher than the 80th percentile score of academic performance among all applicants. Basically, this is stage 1 is for exceptional performers in each stream. So, you should be in the top 1/5 of people in that stream to qualify as an exceptional performer in that stream. So, it's a clearly defined criteria. We are making it a point to say we will select for each part, but we will select only guys who are exceptionally good. Right? Now, once they have done all this, fabulous. They say, look, based on this elaborate set of criteria, we have shortlisted some number of candidates. We want to shortlist overall so many more. So, the remaining will shortlist based on stage 2. Right? That's what they are saying. Now, stage 1 is by bucket, AC1, AC2, AC3 till AC7. Stage 2 is the overall pot. Stage 2 also is based on composite score. For stage 2, only 2 conditions need to be satisfied: section cutoff and your 10th standard plus 12th standard being more than 80%. This third criteria of 80th percentile and all that, that does not need to be satisfied. Right? So, stage 1 is by stream, stage 2 is overall. Right? So, wonderful way. Basically, they are saying we will make sure that our talent pool that we shortlist for interviews is representative. We have all groups represented. But after we have satisfied representativeness, we'll basically say, chuck this representativeness, we'll give value to only the highest score merit. If it is all engineers, let it be all engineers. If it is all commerce grads, let it be all commerce grads. So, they're mixing and matching pretty well. Right? Now, what does it really mean? What are the numbers? Especially, what is the implication for engineers? Whether you're an engineer or you're not an engineer, all of us know engineers are the dominant applicant pool. Maximum numbers get shortlisted, maximum numbers get through and join. So, all of those are dominated by engineering group. So, you want to know what that means. Right? So, the AC1, AC2, AC3 till AC7, general category. I'm going to speak specifically for general category. The others will be very similar to this. The maximum pot that can go for each of these ACs from general category is 100. Right? My gut feel, I'm shooting in the dark a little bit here. The 6 streams apart from engineering put together will contribute between 200 and 250 in stage 1. Engineering will max out, it will contribute 100 from stage 1. So, stage 1, at the end of stage 1, we are looking at 300 to 350 candidates being selected from general category, being shortlisted for interviews. From general category, IIM Ahmedabad usually roughly calls about 600. So, the remaining 250 to 300 is going to come from the common pot. Now, this will be utterly and completely dominated by engineers, mainly because the other final cutoffs tend to be a little lower than engineering cutoffs. So, once those pot-wise selection has been completed, the overall pot selection is going to be dominated by engineers, a fairly reasonable assumption to make. So, at the end of all of this, what can we say? If there are 600 general category candidates going to be selected, about half or little more than half is likely to be on stage 1. So, in that 300, 320, 330, whatever that number is, 100 is going to be engineers. So, about 200, 220 will be other streams. The remaining 280 to 300 will be completely dominated by engineers, probably 270, 275 will be engineers. So, overall, out of 600 people from general category that are being called, 360, 370 is likely to be engineers, 220, 230 is going to be the different streams. That will come from stage 1, second stage will be dominated by engineers. Right? Some of the numbers I have extrapolated based on what you have seen last year, what is the general trend, all of that. So, there is no sanctity to these numbers. So, keep that in mind, take it with a pinch of salt. Now, the final set of questions, all of us are interested in saying what does it mean for engineers, what does it mean for other streams? Are engineers being given a free rein or are they being curtailed? It is neither. The other streams have a crack at it before the pot is open, and after the pot is open, engineers have a field day. So, both ways they have balanced it, they balance it quite brilliantly. Stage 1 and stage 2 clearly delimits this process.